What's up guys, this is Erkin from HDD Recovery Services. Today I will be talking about micro SD cards and data recovery procedures from those devices. Micro SD cards do not have external memory components, which makes them a little bit more problematic to recover data from. If your phone or your tablet or your card reader does not get the device to show up, if the device is acting like it's not even there, chances are the problem is on the physical level. So the software will not help. But just to make sure, I'll post a link in the description for a really great software that I would recommend to try out regardless whether your device is getting recognized or not, because in some cases it may not come up on the camera, but it may take a little while to get recognized on the computer. And if that software in a demo version can see the device and you can browse the structure and actually see the file names, just buy the license. That will be the best money you can spend towards getting your data recovered. Okay, that's going to be in the description. But if it doesn't display your device in the device's view, then don't bother buying it because it's not going to help. You need professional help at that point. So I'll show you the process that I use for data extraction on micro SD cards, what's involved and how it all gets processed. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below and enjoy the show. So first things first, we got our micro SD card. The backside has the interface. That's what we're going to be working with. The interface has two pins that are slightly taller than the rest. It can be very easily spotted if you just look closer. So that's your VCC and VSS contact pads. If you have access to multimeter, great. Set it up to continuity test. Put one probe on one end and another probe on another end. If it displays a number and doesn't make a beep, you're good to go. That means the controller is not shorted out and this card is not going to begin overheating if we put power to it. So I begin the process by putting 3M tape in a field of view of my microscope. It's a double-sided tape that will hold the unit in place. The reason why I need it to be held in place is because we're gonna apply, we're gonna sand it a little bit. Now, obviously, use high grit sandpaper. I use 800 because I'm comfortable with it, but you can go higher. I mean, especially if you haven't done it before, I would recommend you start higher, especially if it's like your first project or something. And take a little bit of a time. Don't burn through the card for extensive periods of time because you will damage the circuit board most likely. And if that happens, then you can forget about the recovery altogether. Now, what I'll do here is I'll just little by little, by monitoring it through the microscope, I'll be scratching the surface of this device, and eventually that will expose the printed circuitry underneath the layer of acrylic, plastic or paint or whatever that surface is covered with. We need to expose that. So I'm gonna put this on fast forward because it did take me quite a bit of time, but eventually you'll see a design coming through that paint. Now, once we burn through the entire mask, we'll be able to begin the soldering procedure. So we're almost there now, and for the last part, I just want to make sure like you guys understand this. We don't need to expose the whole back of that unit. We need to just expose the pads that we're going to be soldering wires to, because everything else is going to be basically untouched. So up here, what I do, once I get the mask thin enough, I fold my sandpaper to make it almost like a little sanding block. And in the microscope, it's very easy to see that it's gonna be like a sanding block, and it's very easy to control and not go over the edges. Edges are most vulnerable spots because they will be taking the most amount of contact, I'm guessing. So by folding it in small pieces like this, we can concentrate on the center of the card only and just expose those dots. So you see those big oval shaped or circular pads? That's what we're going to be using for our contacts and putting the adapter to. So this is almost done and it's almost ready to go. So this is what it will end up looking like once you finish. Nice shiny surface is what we need to get, because if there is any acrylic between the pad and the solder, you're not going to be able to solder the device properly. 32 gigs, that's what it looks like once it's dried and ready for soldering. that's basically it. What you guys just saw in front of you is a step-by-step procedure on micro SD cards and data recovery from them. I had to fast forward this video a lot. Majority of parts are fast forwarded by 3 times. Some sections are actually had to be fast forwarded by 15 times. This process does take a lot of time. On compilation, soldering work alone took me about 20 minutes. So I had to chop out most of it. It's basically the same thing. I'm going from wire to wire and just putting it into the memory card. But overall, the results are great. Client wanted pictures, and pictures we got. So successful recovery, great turnout, and the client is happy. And if the client is happy, I'm happy. So if you guys like this presentation, please do hit like. It really helps our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're interested in topic of data recovery, do subscribe, because I put out this content constantly, and there's a lot of more interesting things that you'll see on this channel. If you need to get a hold of us for data recovery services, the information is on the screen right now. Give us a call or click in the description. There will be a link to our website. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.